Yeah, welcome to the Newcastle United training ground where the team are over in the distance. They are preparing for tomorrow's visit of Barcelona in their opening Champions League match. 28 years ago today, of course, Newcastle famously beat Barcelona by 3-2 thanks to Faustino Asprilla hat-trick. I'm going to have some exclusive footage of Newcastle's training session ahead of the visit of Barcelona tomorrow coming up in this video. Hi guys, how are you all doing? As you saw in my intro there, I'm up at the Newcastle training ground. I've just popped next door here to do this video, although we were granted permission to be inside and film the first 15 minutes of training. We need to get out as soon as Eddie Howe begins his tactics ahead of tomorrow's huge match against Barcelona, so not enough time for me to do a little video and do my Sky Sports commitments as well. So yeah, I've popped next door here to the media centre just to have a little bit of chat with you guys, and you can watch some of the shots floating over my video here. I've got some of the training pictures to show you guys. So look, I think the first thing to say is, as expected, no Yoane Wissa at training today. We told you on Sunday that he's expected to be missing for at least the next 4 to 5 weeks with a knee injury. We'll try and get an update from Eddie Howe at his press conference later on today. He's up at 4 o'clock today to speak to the media ahead of the Barcelona match. Also, we will hear from Bruno Guimaraes, the Newcastle captain at that game, and then shortly afterwards we'll hear from both Hansi Flick and the Barcelona captain. Now their captain is Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper, but I don't think he's playing in this game, so it'll be interesting to see who's up for them. But we'll hear from Eddie Howe at 4 o'clock, which is unusual because normally Eddie would do his news conferences here at the media centre at 9:30 every Friday morning before a match, but obviously UEFA rules dictate it needs to be in the afternoon of what they call match day -1, which is the day before the match. So as I say, we were in at the training session this morning, no Yoane Wissa. They chased him all summer long. I should know about it. I spoke about it for day after day, after hour after hour, after week, but they finally got the deal done with 30 seconds left of the transfer window. They're running about furiously inside the training ground behind me to try and get Yoane Wissa to fill out a form that he had somehow managed to miss. £55 million as well, probably £20 million over what Newcastle wanted to pay initially. Remember, the first offer was 25 million, the second 35, and then finally 55 million. But look, it got desperate for Newcastle with Alexander Isak going, and they needed to get Yoane Wissa over the line. So they've spent a lot of money, they've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort. They've got him in, and he's got injured before he's even taken part in one of these training sessions that you see, that I saw this morning, that you can see from my picture. So he hasn't played for Newcastle, as you guys know. He hasn't trained, and he's unavailable for at least this game. They're going to have to get by for the next 4 or 5 minimum weeks without him, with just Nick Voltemada and Anthony Gordon as the options at centre forward, and of course Will Asula as well. But you know, will he start many games? I would say probably unlikely. I think he'll start against Bradford in the Cup next week, but I don't see him starting, certainly not the Champions League games. Unlikely for him to start the league game, maybe against Bournemouth on Sunday. But Anthony Gordon was there today. Look, without doubt Gordon will come back into the team against Barcelona tomorrow night. I wouldn't be surprised if Gordon actually plays through the middle and Voltemada is on the bench. Now look, if I had to pick the team, and if I had to guess it, I do think Voltemada will start, and through the middle, and Gordon on the left, and probably Murphy on the right. But I would not be surprised if I saw Gordon starting through the middle. And the reason I say that is Newcastle play Bournemouth away on Sunday, and I don't think Voltemada can play 3 matches in 8 days. He told me on Saturday after the win against Wolves, when of course he scored the winner, that he was cramping up after about 55 minutes, an hour. So I don't think he's fully fit to play 90 minutes, certainly not to play 3 games in the space of 8 days. So I think there's a chance that Gordon starts through the middle tomorrow night. I hope not. I hope Voltemada starts and Gordon plays on the left, but I think there is a chance that Gordon starts through the middle and Voltemada leads the line against Bournemouth on Sunday, because of course Gordon is unavailable on Sunday. It's the last of his 3-match ban. So if Voltemada starts tomorrow and doesn't start on Sunday, and there's no Gordon, who do you play through the middle? Do you start with Asula? Do you play Elanga at centre forward? It leaves Eddie a bit of a problem on Sunday. So let's see what he decides to do. But as I say, wouldn't be surprised if Gordon leaves the line tomorrow and Voltemada comes off the bench for the last half an hour. but it would be a risk, you would suggest, given that this is a huge match and Voltemada will want to start and Eddie will want to play his strongest team. So yeah, there was that. The other obviously player missing at training this morning was Jacob Ramsey, who of course we know was missing for a number of weeks himself with that injury that he picked up against Leeds a couple of weeks ago. So no sign of him at training this morning, or Wissa, two of the new signings. Better news was Malik Chow was there, Alanga was there, and Voltemada was there, and of course Aaron Ramsdale was there training alongside the goalkeepers as well. But everything was pretty light-hearted. You can tell the players are looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere at St James's Park. 28 years ago today, Newcastle beat Barcelona by 3-2, of course, that Faustino Asprilla hat-trick, and he will be there at the game tomorrow night. I think Keith Gillespie too, who of course set up two of the goals with brilliant runs and crosses. 28 years ago today. I remember when I was watching that match up in Scotland as well. And talking about milestones, I moved to the northeast 12 years ago today to start this job covering Newcastle United. So yeah, it's been a long old 12 years, but look the way things have changed, look at how positive things are. You know, 12 years ago today I started covering the club. They were trying to exist in the Premier League. Now you've got Barcelona at home in the Champions League tomorrow night. So sometimes you just need a little reminder of how, I know things aren't going as well as you would all hope, given the start of the season hasn't been perfect, the injury situation, the Isak situation, but look at the situation we're in now. Barcelona at home, it will be an incredible atmosphere at St James's Park, and it just, sometimes you have to remind yourself, where were we 12 years ago today? Well, I was just starting this job here in Newcastle. We're under Mike Ashley and Alan Pardew, and they were about to have a pretty poor season. So yeah, things looking up. Where is that 12 years gone? Absolutely flown by. But certainly the club is a much more enjoyable club to cover now than it was 12 years ago, because they're on their upward trajectory, and they're obviously trying to win things and achieve things and have won things. And it was 6 months ago yesterday you won the Carabao Cup against Liverpool back at Wembley. So lots of milestones, lots of things to talk about, lots of dates, and just lots of, I think, people looking forward to the match against Barcelona tomorrow night. So we'll hear from Eddie Howe later on. We will hear from Bruno Guimaraes, and we will be there. I'll be at the stadium to see Barcelona train as well. So I'll bring you guys some of that video later on as well on my channel. But I thought I would just give you a quick update here from the training ground, give you guys a chance to see some of the exclusive pictures from training this morning. And I'm going to leave you on this. Bruno Guimaraes today at the little cart where the players go over to and are told the instructions for the training session. It said on it, and you can hopefully see by my pictures here, DJ Bruno supplying the sound, so he gets to pick the music this morning at the beginning of the training session as the players warm up. I think the players all get a different opportunity to do this. It was Bruno Guimaraes this morning, and I don't know what the music was. It was some kind of R&B stuff, but that was what the players were doing a little warm up to this morning as they prepare for the mighty Barcelona at St James's Park. Newcastle's first ever Champions League game was against Barcelona 28 years ago today, and here they are at it again. And look, I wouldn't bet against Newcastle picking up all 3 points and getting the Champions League challenge off to a really good start, like you guys did against Paris Saint-Germain a couple of years ago. So only 2 players missing today from training, Wissa and Ramsey. Everyone else present as Newcastle look to carry on the positivity from the weekend win against Wales. Okay guys, I'll be back with a little bit more from the stadium later after I've heard from Eddie Howe, Bruno and the Barcelona camp. But that's it for now. Speak soon. Cheers now. Bye bye.